3 quick rule scripts. 1, capacity to contract, infancy or minority, and incapacity. What types of contracts are these? They are voidable at the option of the minor or the incapacitated person or their guardian. All right, let's tackle minority first. A contract is voidable at the minor's option within a reasonable time of age 18. A contract is voidable at the minor's option within a reasonable time of turning 18. Failure to disaffirm the contract ratifies the contract. So a minor can affirm a contract, but their failure to disaffirm will ratify the contract when they get to age 18. All right, so here's our whole rule script. A contract entered into by a minor is voidable within a reasonable time of the minor's turning age 18. A minor may later ratify a contract, and their failure to disaffirm the contract will ratify the contract. What are minors liable for? That's right, the reasonable value of necessaries: food, clothing, shelter, and do not forget medical care. Similarly, incapacity. What is incapacity? Cannot understand the nature and consequences of the transaction. Incapacity equals cannot understand the nature and consequences of a transaction. Let's repeat that one more time. Incapacity equals cannot understand the nature and the consequences of the transaction that they're entering into. So incapacity includes intoxication. So we're talking about mental incapacity. We're talking about being incapacitated due to voluntary or involuntary intoxication. In either case, the contract is voidable because the party cannot understand the nature and consequences of their transaction. If the person regains capacity, what may they do? That's right, they may ratify the contract. One more thing, if a person is under guardianship, a contract is voidable by the guardian. All right, who lacks capacity to contract? Minors, incapacitated persons, and intoxicated persons. Okay, let's look at improper contracts. Improper contracts are illegal, unconscionable, or against public policy. Illegal, no further explanation needed. Unconscionable, high bar. We need both substantive and procedural unconscionability to void a contract. Substantive, it is lopsided or unfairly favors one party. The substance of the contract is one-sided or unfairly favors one party. Procedural, the procedure is one-sided or unfair, as in take it or leave it. Okay, against public policy. A contract may be against public policy, and if so, it is of course not enforceable. And it's not enforceable against, particularly against the person a law was designed to protect, just like tort law. Okay, improper contracts, illegal. 2, substantively and procedurally unconscionable contracts are improper. Substantive and unconscionability means the substance or matter of the contract is so one-sided that it unfairly favors one party. And procedural unconscionability is an unfair or one-sided process or a defect in the bargaining process. And a contract that is against public policy or law cannot be enforced against the class of persons that law was designed to protect. Finally, quasi-contracts. Remember, a quasi-contract is a judicial remedy in restitution to prevent unjust enrichment. Repeat, general rule. A quasi-contract is a judicial remedy in restitution to prevent unjust enrichment. We have 2 types. A performance was made for which the party reasonably expected to be paid, and justice requires enforcement. That's type A. Type B is called pre-contract detrimental reliance. So before the formal agreement, the offeree proceeds to his detriment. Before the formal agreement, the offeree proceeds to his detriment. That can be remedied in restitution. So what does this mean? It means that they buy paint or supplies or something similar. Okay, let's repeat the general rule. A quasi-contract is a judicial remedy in restitution to prevent unjust enrichment. The elements are a performance for which the party reasonably expected payment, and justice requires enforcement. That's it.